I am likewise pleased to salute your predecessor, Mr. Shihabi, and the new Secretary General, Mr. Boutros Boutros-Ghali, to whom I would like to address my sincerest congratulations on their adopting this weighty responsibility. Distinguished diplomats and dear friends of the international community, how happy I am to greet you and to wish you welcome to welcome the sisterly nations who have just arrived in this great family of ours. As always, the Haitian people cannot refrain from presenting a particular word of welcome to President Carlos Andrés Pérez and the Venezuelan people. Mr. President, on the threshold of the third millennium, the brilliant points of light which are arising from political pollution invite us all to dialogue to progressively bring about a civilization founded on peace. The end of the Cold War has offered the world new prospects of peace and cooperation. Nevertheless, centers of tension and the outbreak of new regional conflicts have darkened the picture of international relations. Political pollution at the world level has produced armed conflicts, wars, massacres, and coups d'etats against democracy. Therefore, we would like to humbly share with you our 8 democratic beatitudes for a civilization of peace. 8 democratic beatitudes for a civilization of peace. The first democratic beatitude: blessed are those who defend democracy. May peace prevail among them. The condemnation of the coup d'etat of the 30th of September 1991 is an expression of the desire of the United Nations to defend the democratic principles and rights of the Haitian people. And we would like to thank you warmly for that. The advent of this civilization of peace at a worldwide level necessarily involves restoring constitutional order to Haiti, where blood is flowing, corpses are being heaped up, and repression is being intensified. The coup d'etat in itself is a crime against mankind. These 12 months thus are symbolic of a double crime against humanity. May the door finally be opened so that peace can once more shine among us.
Jou va, jou viens, jou aller, jou vini, jou sa.
5 days before the coup d'etat of the 30th of September 1991, here in the United Nations, from this rostrum, the people of Haiti cried out, "Democracy or death." Today, on behalf of the 3,000 people assassinated by the enemies of democracy, the Haitian people promotes, with the same conviction, from the same rostrum, the same cry. It utters the cry, "Democracy or death." Anyone desirous of peace must defend democracy.
La paix ak démocratie, c'est Haïtien ak Haïti. Youn pa vive sans l'autre. La paix ak démocratie, c'est nous ak moi. Youn pa vive sans l'autre. Que la paix revienne en Haïti.
Peace return to Haiti.
Que la paix revienne
and may peace likewise be restored to Yugoslavia and Somalia. The Republic of Haiti condemns the acts of terrorism and genocide which have brought about such a paroxysm of horror. We appeal to the international community to make itself responsible for progressively creating a civilization of peace. Second democratic beatitude. Blessed are those who promote economic growth, because peace and economic poverty are incompatible.
Misère ak la paix, c'est lait ak citron, youn pa vle wè lot. Misère ak la paix, c'est Haïti ak cédras, youn pa vle wè lot. Les gen la guerre nan vente, pas gen la paix nan tête. Depuis la Seconde Guerre mondiale,
Since the Second World War,
la production mondiale
world
a
production
baissé pour la première fois
has
de
fallen
0,5% l'an dernier.
for the first time by 0.5% last year.
La
In the
dégradation
developing
des
countries,
conditions économiques
the deterioration
et
of economic
sociales
and social
est
conditions
spectaculaire.
is
D'où
spectacular.
misère infrahumaine,
Hence subhuman
abus de
poverty,
drogue,
drug abuse,
augmentation de la
and
criminalité.
increase in crime.
Les 20% des plus riches
20%
du monde
of the wealthiest people in the world
ont 83% du
have
revenu mondial.
83% of the world's income.
Les 20% des plus
20%
pauvres du
of the
monde
poorest people in the
n'ont
world
que
only have
1,4% du revenu mondial.
1.4% of that world income.
Aujourd'hui,
Today,
nous avons 1,2
we have
billion de pauvres
1.2
dans les
billion
pays en
poor
développement.
people living in developing
En l'an
countries.
2000, nous en
In
aurons
the year
1,3.
2000, we will have 1.3,
2025,
and in the year
nous en aurons
2025,
1.5.
we will have 1.5.
Or, le principe de base
So,
du droit international
the fundamental
public
principle
est un principe
of
d'égalité.
international public law is the principle of
contexte,
equality. In this context,
Aristote nous rappelle que la
Aristotle has
politique
reminded us
exige
that
une
politics
relation de
requires a
réciprocité
reciprocal
et de
relationship
symétrie
and symmetrical
où les
relationship
citoyens
to
sont
obtain,
mis
whereby
les
the
uns
citizens
à côté des
are placed on
autres
an equal
et
footing
non
with each
les
other
uns
and not
sur les
one
autres.
on top of each other.
Tout moun c'est moun, moun respecte moun, moun paraît ak moun. De même, dans son
Likewise,
ouvrage La justice
in his work
politique,
entitled Political Justice,
Hofe, titulaire de chaire
Hofe,
d'éthique et de
who
philosophie
occupies the
politique,
chair of ethics and political
nous
philosophy,
rappelle
has
que
reminded us
pris dans un ensemble,
that on the whole,
Platon et
Plato
Aristote
and
déploient
Aristotle
un bouquet bigarré
had
de raisons
offered us
pour
a
montrer
florilegium
qu'une
of
vie en
reasons
commun
to
est
demonstrate
profitable à
that
toutes les parties
life in
prenantes.
common is profitable
Les
to all
rapports
those
dès lors
participating
sont
in it.
régis par des lois. Des lois
Relationships,
à
therefore, are ruled by
respecter.
laws, laws which must
Des
be
lois
respected,
à ne pas
laws which
transgresser.
must not be transgressed
Des lois pour une
Laws
société de droit.
in a society
justice
of law.
doit être
Justice must
l'oxygène
be,
de l'économie.
as it were, the oxygen
La
of the
justice
economy.
doit
Justice,
être l'oxygène de
I repeat,
l'économie.
must be the
Comment
oxygen of the economy.
parvenir à une
How can
civilisation de
we
paix
bring about a
sans
civilization
une
of peace
croissance
unless
économique et
there
humaine
is human
à
and
l'échelle
economic
du
growth
monde?
at the world level?
C'est bien dans ce monde où
It is in
malheureusement
this world where,
chaque
unfortunately,
année,
every year,
près de 3 millions d'enfants
almost
meurent de
3
maladies contre
million,
lesquelles
3
il existe des
million
vaccins.
children
Sur
die
chaque
from
3 enfants,
illnesses against which
un
there are
souffre
vaccines.
de malnutrition
Of 3
grave.
children, 1 suffers from
Pourquoi
serious
tant de
malnutrition.
souffrance?
Why so much suffering,
Entre la
we may ask?
souffrance et l'opulence, y a-t-il
Must
une offense?
suffering and opulence
Le
be
Sud
necessarily
compte
at daggers drawn? The
77%
South
de la population mondiale,
accounts for 77% of the world
mais ne
population, but
dispose que de
only
15% du
has
revenu de la planète.
15% of the world's earnings.
En
In
Amérique
Latin
latine,
America,
17%
17% of the landowners control 90%
des terres.
of the land.
Comment parler de paix
How can we speak
quand
of peace
l'égalité des droits civiques
when
devient
equality in
inégalité
civil rights
socio-économique?
has become socio-economic
Contraste
inequality?
flagrant.
A striking contrast indeed, spectacular contradictions
aux
due
violations des
to
droits de la
violations
personne.
of the rights of the individual.
Chez nous, en Haïti,
In Haiti,
c'est encore
in our
pire.
country, it's even worse.
Les structures
The
d'exploitation que nous
exploitive
avons
structures
héritées
which we inherited
doivent être transformées
must be democratically transformed
en structures
into
de
structures
participation et de justice.
made up of participation
Participation de
and
tous,
justice, participation by
justice
everyone,
pour
justice
tous,
for everyone,
Transparence
and
en
transparency in all matters.
tout. Dès lors,
Hence,
nous n'aurons plus cet héritage
we will no longer be
Dès lors,
Hence, we will no longer be burdened by this colonial heritage, which is so clearly indicated by the statistical table. That is, 1% of the population has more than 45% of the national revenue. 1.8 doctors are available for each 10,000 inhabitants, 1.9 nurses for each 10,000 inhabitants. In our 56 so-called hospitals, there is not even as much as 2 beds for 1,000 people, only 1.5. 59 urban dwellers and 3% rural dwellers have access to drinking water. 85% of illiterates who are extremely intelligent. You're not necessarily a fool just because you can't go to school. Incumbent upon us is the responsibility to promote productive and remunerative jobs. We will manage to do this by applying judicious macroeconomic policies and effective measures on the mesoeconomic level. Therefore, as always, we will have to locate the human individual in the very heart of development, enable the market to function properly, to remedy any defects, to create material infrastructures, to support activities of public interest, develop harmonious relationships with the private sector, and to struggle against corrupt structures. The constitutional process will preserve participation for everyone, involvement and justice for everyone. Unity in diversity is indeed the very outline of a political topology where differences of view can be democratically harmonized. The more equality there is in civil rights, the less inequality there will be in the socio-economic field. I repeat, more there is equality in civil rights, the less inequality there will be in the socio-economic sphere.
Faut bien manger pour nous toutes, travail pour nous toutes, respect pour nous toutes, justice pour nous toutes. Tout monde c'est moun, moun respecte moun, moun paraît ak moun. La République d'Haïti,
the Republic of Haiti shares the suffering of those peoples who are impoverished, starving and abandoned. There are many of them. Those dispossessed people who are in vain seeking the return of what is due to them. In addressing our thanks in advance to all those friends of Haiti who wish to send humanitarian aid to Haiti, we would like to ask you to coordinate the channeling of humanitarian aid with the constitutional government of the Republic of Haiti and those NGOs who are accompanying the march of the people of Haiti towards democracy. Despite the controversy which has surrounded the idea of an embargo, the people of Haiti would like to repeat yes to an embargo. Let there be finally a real, complete and total embargo. Let us have a
Monsieur le Président, au nom du peuple haïtien, je suis heureux de vous saluer
I am pleased to greet you and to address to you our warm congratulations on your election to the presidency of this 47th session of the General Assembly.